Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the roast. I'm here with the host with the most, Davey. Let's give him a round of applause. Oh, I almost hit the laughter button.
Thank you very much. Please, I'm just one guy. Please.
And I am the co-host of the roast, Juleen, and we are gathered here. But let me do this correctly. Let me do this. Give it a proper thing. Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to talk about Home Sweet Home Alone. Will we bin it? Will we played it? Tune in, keep it locked, and find out. All right, so this month this roast has been a long time coming,
Yeah.
right? This was supposed to be a Christmas roast. So for those of you Christmas bunnies who are missing Christmas, this is for you. Here we go. I'm going to play the trailer for you guys.
'Twas the night before Christmas vacation, and the fun was in full swing.
You have split our family onto two separate flights.
Mom!
Max, please!
The family left for their big vacation.
Is that everyone? The cars are leaving now!
But forgot one little thing.
Mom? Dad? Uncle Blake? They don't even know I'm here. They don't even know I'm here. My mum and dad have gone to Tokyo. I'm totally on my own.
You do realise that my 10-year-old son is at home by himself. You just assumed Max was on the other flight.
We didn't take a census.
We got reports of suspicious people around 36 Lincoln Ave.
I can't go to jail, honey. I wouldn't last 30 seconds in Gen Pop. It's where fresh fish get got.
Nobody here is getting got.
And we're criminals.
I don't think so. This is my house. I have to defend it. Orange stripe, center pocket. Ooh. That did not sound right.
I am trying to get home to my son, who is alone. I'm scared. And he needs his mother.
Home Sweet Home Alone.
Oh no, a ladder!
You think I'm that stupid?
Yes, I do.
Only on Disney Plus.
Yeah. Welcome everyone. Hello everyone. Home Sweet Home Alone, a sequel / reboot / remake, depending on your outlook. It's one.
Is it a sequel though? Because we
technically
got
yes.
Home Alone New York. You remember Home Alone New York?
It is a sequel because there is a tie-in with the original two movies.
That's
so,
right.
Going down the line, I'm sure we will address said link. But there's a bit of continuity there. It is officially a sequel to Home Alone 1 and 2. I don't acknowledge the other films, even though there are a few more in the franchise. But we know it's
like 4.
Yeah, there was like 3 and 4. There was a holiday special one. There was one that we discussed on my podcast, which featured a dog, which in certain countries is called Bone Alone, and I kid you not, it's true. So there's been.
I'm sorry. When you said, "Oh, yeah, they have a sequel called Bone Alone," I was like, I thought it was like a whole different thing.
As did everybody.
So I thought that was like an adult film.
It's not. It's literally Home Alone, but there's a little dog involved. It's as simple as that.
Oh Lord!
Steer clear if you can. But yes, this is a Disney-made sequel to a much-loved franchise, albeit the first, versions of it. And yeah,
Can, can we talk about the original one with, Kevin McAllister is this badass kid, one of like seven people or seven children or something. I mean, and then the mom just leaves him. I'm sorry, I'm funny. Like, I go through my children's names, and I under the guise I tell them, David, are you buckled up? Carmen, are you buckled up? John, are you buckled up? But really, it's just so I don't forget any of the places. It's like I'm taking attendance.
as you should. When your family's that big, you need to keep some sort of record or attendance, so you can not lose anybody. It didn't go well. A head count does not mean everybody's there, and that's what went wrong in the first movie. It was that nosy kid from next door who was snooping in the bag and got his head counted as Kevin.
Oh God! See, and that's the thing. Do not be nosy. We don't like nosy
He was a really
people.
nosy kid. He took photographs on their camera before they'd even left for the airport. He was hounding one of the van drivers about if it get good gas mileage or if it has 4-wheel drive. This kid wants to ask a lot of questions. Just get out of there, you
He's
know.
an
I don't
anno-
want to know.
It's like he's an annoying kid. Who are you? He was Steve Urkel before Steve was Steve Urkel. Go home, Steve.
Exactly. But yes, head count's not a good way to keep a tab on family when there's a vacation involved. So yeah,
No, no, you hear voices. You gotta hear voices. And when you don't hear voices, trust and believe something is broken, messed up, or they are exploring somewhere they're not supposed to.
but yeah, we now have find ourselves with a Home Alone movie for a new generation to enjoy in the biggest brackets I can give it. Um,
To
yeah, this
enjoy.
this film is something that I think was made just for the sake of seeing if it would be popular. Nobody's really asked for it, but it's been made.
Yet here
So
it is. This is one of the examples of just because you can doesn't mean you should.
this is so true. There are many films out there that should never have been made, and without sounding offensive, this is probably one of them. I'm sure you can guess, listeners and viewers, that the tone we're taking with this particular roast is not going to be a positive one. But there may be things about it we will enjoy or have enjoyed, and who knows, we may discuss them if there's time.
Eh,
Eh.
well, uh, well, if it was time we were worried about, then then we would discuss the things we enjoyed about this film, because but then there'd be like a whole another 55 minutes of the show left, and then what would we talk about?
We would talk about Home Alone 1 and 2, the best in the franchise.
That's not saying much. Some of that stuff did not age
Yeah,
well.
yeah. Still popular though. Still increasingly popular. In fact, I mean, certainly for my family, we always watch the first. I keep saying the first two Home Alone movies. We always watch the Home Alone movies because there's only two of them, and we watch it year on year, and it's still a very big part of the family here, especially around Christmas time. Although we have watched it various parts of the year, it's not necessarily just for Christmas in our opinion, anyway. But yeah, we
I'll tell you what, one moment where that told me I did not completely fail as a parent was when my son this year says, "Merry Christmas, you filthy animal." And honestly, like my headspace was somewhere completely different. Like, because I was worried about decorating, getting the tree up and stuff like that. And I'm just like, hold up. I'm like, I'm just trying, I'm looking for who the fuck you think you're talking to. And I was like, okay, good on you, son. That was funny.
It is cool. That is cool. I think Merry Christmas, You Filthy Animal is a great milestone for any young family, or any youngster, I should say. It's a great line, and one that is quoted a lot, and rightly so.
Yes.
Rightly so. I mean, the premise of this movie, like all the other Home Alones, a young kid gets left home alone, obviously accidentally, but it's usually revolving about standing your ground at your home so that no one can come and trespass and take things that like stealing and stuff via the means of booby traps, weapons, gadgets, that kind of thing. And it's used again in this particular film, albeit a different person, different family, a different scenario, but still insane traps that would easily kill or maim someone, but is done in a kind of a jokey, kind of Wile E. Coyote kind of comedy fashion. These things look like they hurt, but they still get up and carry on with bumps on their head or bleeding.
I'm pretty sure that dad has like head
Oh yeah,
trauma or like a fractured skull or something. I'm pretty sure. And you mean to tell me the mom didn't whip that kid's ass for what he did to the house? She'll walk into the house and be like, "Oh, I got something for you. I got something for you this Christmas."
that's something I've never understood. Whether it be Kevin McAllister or what's his name? His name's Mercer. I forget what his first name is. Oh my god, what's his name in it? That's going to really do me. I don't know. You'll have to pardon me while I check on that because
Oh, I
Max
have no
Mercer.
idea.
Yes. So
Max.
Kevin McAllister, Max Mercer basically destroy their homes because of all these traps they've set up. And you're telling me this is in reference to the Macaulay Culkin movies. The following day, everything's been cleaned up. The only thing that's got remnants is the fact that he didn't bother tidying up Buzz's room, which is why Buzz is at the end of the film. What did you do to my room? But everything else was cleaned up. We're talking the ice was cleared, the tar was taken off the stairs, the nail was removed, the paint cans were put away, and the micro machines were put away, and so on. He did that all in one
But
night.
wasn't he in a renovated
In the
space?
second one, yes,
He Yeah, he was in a renovated. Oh yeah, no, that was his house. Wait, how did he clean
exactly.
that up so
There's so many
fast?
continuity issues, and one of the things that really kind of was stuck in the back of my mind is that scene again in the first movie when he goes outside to cut a very small Christmas tree off to take inside to be the family tree. And it's literally a very small sapling of a tree. And yet the next scene, it's this huge full Christmas tree with all these decorations on. It literally exploded.
It
It grew.
grew.
It grew.
It
I'm
grew.
sorry,
It
but
grew. He planted it. He planted it in the carpet.
and it just grew. So obviously the
It
household he lives
grew.
in is some kind of time machine or some kind
It's
of big
it's it's
hydroponics or
magic.
something.
It's
Something's going on in there to make a tree grow that big. And that was one of the continuity issues I had the biggest problem with was a tree. Not to mention that these insane traps, but
he
the tree.
he made it grow with Buzz's hydroponic weed system.
Absolutely.
That's what it
That's the one thing
is.
we
I
didn't find
figured it
in
out.
Buzz's private stuff was his weed collection.
See, he had to take it. They were going on vacation.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
He's like, those Florida folks will need some pot for the road.
But yes, let's get back on track because we already keep going back to the nostalgia of the first films. But
I know. I think that's like avoidance. That we do that. When there's a film that's not the greatest, so we do. You know what? Let's just kind of veer off the track and talk about this much better film.
it's always the way. Sometimes it's hard to find
It's the
positivity
way.
in, well, let's face it, a non-positive experience. But there were some good bits to take from this movie. Yes, I know it's shocking. A Home Alone reboot and remake. It's not something everybody wanted. However, there were a few bits in there that I did find worth a smile. I wouldn't say I laughed, but I did smile. One of those references was Scarface. I don't know if you got onto the Scarface reference in there with
Yeah.
lots of sweets and candies and stuff. I thought that's genius. That's clever. That's clever. I quite like the fact that it
Yeah.
referenced an amazing film in a really, really poor one.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. My enjoyable moments were when they referenced the other films. The Scarface reference, the reference to the previous film, you know, and then the airport scene, I cringed
Yeah,
for her. I was like, "Ooh, no,
yeah.
honey,
I mean
no."
that famous scene
I
where
mean,
Catherine O'Hara playing Mrs. McAllister, Kate McAllister, I should say. as that kind of back and forth with various airport staff to try and get home, and the aggression and the anger, and she's just got to get back. This version with Ashleen B, who's an established UK actress and is doing quite a few bits and bobs overseas. I found that her accent as Max's mum being a heavily British accent, and she's an Irish lady, but I didn't feel like this accent came across like it was genuine. And again, I know she's an actor from a different part of the world doing an English accent, but it felt really forced. Like, I don't believe that that was the same kind of family, that the demographic was different between Max and his mum. It just wasn't the same kind of, it didn't come across well to me. But I'm no expert here, folks. This is just my own personal opinion. And again,
I don't, I don't, I don't know. It's just I've heard
yeah,
better. I've heard better, and then not only that, like the aggression in the first one, trying to get home, came off as genuine aggression. Like, I just want to get home to
yeah,
my kid. I mean, never mind the idea that she done messed up and forgot a kid, but this one seemed like low key racist. It just didn't sound like what? Why? This is not a funny
no, it
joke.
was just, it's nice to have the reference to the scene,
It's-
but it was nowhere near as good or as funny. It just,
It referenced the scene, but it also kind of ruined the reference with the racial
yeah, the
undertones.
whole, like, she's assuming that this lady who, yes, granted, she looks like she may be from the Orient, perhaps, but she's clearly speaking American, and she just jumps in straight with Konnichiwa, which I think is Japanese, and
Yeah, I'm.
I think it's
Well,
Japanese.
I
Yeah, she
mean,
was going to
it's.
Japan. Of course, she was.
I feel like the assumption because might have been like, okay, she works for like Tokyo Airlines or something. So maybe she was in an airport in Tokyo trying to, just not assume that everybody speaks
Mm,
English, trying to attempt to speak the language of the country she's in, but it just came off as racist.
yeah, probably something not to mention on any further, really. But these are films that they've tried to recreate, and not in a good way. I mean, the acting aside, the accent aside, it wasn't a very important scene. She didn't come across like she was really struggling to get back home. All you've really seen was that she wanted to go home because her son was scared and alone. But generally, there was no haste to get there. Released with the first Home Alone, what was the line she said? If I have to sell my soul to the devil himself, I'm going to get home to my son. That's how important it was. This was just more like, okay, when are the flights available? Just need to get home. He's alone and scared. I just
See,
wanted to grab her by the scruff of the neck and shake her or something and go, for God's sake, let me get home.
yeah, just like emote, give me something. Give me some sort of emotion. My heart skips a beat when I've misplaced my daughter in the grocery store, you know, and usually it's just she's standing behind me and I'm like, where are you? But, so I didn't get that. Like, I did not believe her as a mom. I didn't.
It's a shame because, like I said, she's done quite a lot of good comedies, and she's been in a lot of things overseas that is really worth watching. But it's one of those things. You take a gamble and you try something different. It doesn't always pay out or pay off even. Um, but there was some good supporting cast in there, which helped the movie along. The main couple in it, played by Rob Delaney and Ellie Kemper. I'd never seen Ellie Kemper until I'd seen her in Bridesmaids years ago. That's the only thing I've seen her in, to be fair. But I was like, I'm sure I recognise this person. Then it kind of clicked. Oh, yeah, she's in Bridesmaids, which is a personal favourite. I do like that film. And Rob Delaney, of course, he's done well over here as well as being in the US. He's done quite a lot of stuff on this side of the pond. So it's an interesting choice to have them play the antagonist couple, even though they're not really doing anything wrong per se. But we would get onto that.
It was, I mean, it's different because with the wet bandits, you can easily get behind not
Yeah,
liking them. With this couple, they made them relatable,
yeah, because they were just trying
and
to get their property back.
they
That's all it was.
But I mean, listen, the assumption. Okay, let's start from the beginning. Okay, like I'll start in the beginning and then you can do the middle and we'll talk about it. So the basis of this movie is that this couple is about to lose
Yeah.
their home, so they decide to, I guess the dad lost his job, they can't afford their home, so they're holding an open house. And I found it this is where I got my little yucks in, where they're trying to seem hip and cool to these millennials that are coming in to try and purchase their home at the open house. You remember? She's like, "Oh, yeah, open concept is so lit." And they're like, "Yeah, we can just knock down a few walls in here." And then Jeff is like, unless it's a weight holding wall, then the whole roof will just come down. And the guy was like, "Hey man, I thought we were on the same side here. We're trying to sell the house." So they're trying to pander to this millennial crowd and it's just not working. So then oh yeah, and then it cuts to the mom and Max, trying to get on the same flight together. They're getting ready to go on vacay to Tokyo, etc., etc. A whole manner of fuckery ensues. He gets left. She goes to Tokyo with her husband and Stu, who, for the record, why is Stu always shitting in the bathrooms? Every time we see Stu is in the bathroom taking a dump. What is up with that?
Clearly, he's got IBS. Clearly.
Seriously. And then we get back to the couple whose, I forget, family shows up in the middle of the night unexpectedly. And then they couldn't believe that they were getting put in the den. They're like, "Oh, that's a good one." And the dude ends up in the den. I'm sorry, that's my house. You show up unexpectedly. You're my guest. You'll sleep where I put you.
Exactly.
Or you can sleep in, because this is not the Four Seasons, bro. You shit,
You're in the den.
putting me out of the master bedroom. Get the fuck out of here. But hold on.
Get the fuck out of here.
There was prior to that when Max and his mum are driving around. There's a bathroom break needed, so they go into this open house to use the bathroom, but pretend that they're interested in the property. So Max is snooping around and he sees this box with dolls in it that belongs to the family. The grandma passed them down, and one of these dolls has got an upside down head, but is apparently worth a lot of money, over 200k, I believe. And it was just kind of cast aside. And then it cuts to another scene, and the doll's disappeared. And it's assumed that little Max has taken this doll because he looked at it and was kind of winding up Jeff, the husband of the piece, about having dolls in his collection. So he assumed that he's stolen it, and he finds out online that the last time this doll was in on like an antique show, it went for like £200,000 or something, or dollars even. So he wants this doll back, and he assumes that Max has taken it. So the hunt begins to find out where he lives and get this doll back, which makes them two the antagonists, the husband and wife of the piece. They're not burglars per se, but they want to go back into Max's house to get the doll back so they can save their own home. So it's why it's kind of relatable, because they're not actually criminals. They just want to get their item back that they think he's got so they can save their house and live with the family in their house. It's good motivation, but there's still, a right and wrong way of doing it. And they did go about it the wrong way.
They could have just knocked on the door, or you know what I mean? Just knock on the door, or be like, "Hey, where's your mom?" There's a lot of assumptions, and you know what they say: when you assume, you make an ass out of you.
Oh yes, it's a very famous phrase. But I thought there was a lot of very easy detective work to figure out. There was a lot of, thoughts and speech bubbles coming up. Oh, there's the code to the door. Here's what time we're going out. What was his name again? And he repeats the whole name in his head. So it's all left there for you to pick up. The fact that they have an argument, their mum and son, Max and Carol naming each other full names. Oh, so they've left that there for us to figure out, so they can obviously find out where they live. Who has an argument and calls their own mother their full name, including middle name, and retaliates with you
Yeah,
don't do that. You don't do it.
yeah, okay. If I ever did that, I'd be picking up my whole mouth off the floor.
But it has to be there for people to pick up on the fact that he's remembered. That's what their names are, and that's where they live, and that they're going on holiday, so they'll be out. It was just
Would that be an example of Deus Ex Machina,
pop.
where it's just like a very like fortunate, like a very very fortunate coincidence because the movie needs it to be there.
Quite possibly. The breadcrumbs are left for us to just pick up and take, or in this case, Rob Delaney, Jeff, to pick
It's
up and take
just,
and use to his advantage.
I mean, they could have done the exposition a lot
Yeah,
better.
yeah. But, you know,
They could have done so much better. It's just, wow. It's a lot.
there's the obviously the waking up of Max in the house and realizing no one's around, they've all gone without him. And the whole, what would you get up to? So he was playing on video games and he was eating junk food and he was going down the stairs a bit like Kevin did, but this time on an ironing board. One thing I did appreciate was the more relevance of modern day times, the fact that they've got smart speakers installed in the home, the fact that they've got parental controls, so we can't go like watch an adult movie or play an R-rated game or something because they're in place. Well played, mum and dad. You've put the parental lock in place, so I can't do these kind of things. But I liked that modern take. I dare say if that was available back in the 80s, Kevin wouldn't have any issues because he could just say, call mum on Instagram or WhatsApp or whatever it might be and have a video chat with her in Paris. It wouldn't have been as funny a film, but
Yeah.
it just goes to show how times move
Well,
on.
I mean, remember when she was like in the hotel? Nobody has a
Yeah,
landline. So, no,
I do.
that was like a very, again, a really convenient coinky
Yeah,
dink.
we could have called you on a landline, but nobody's got one. But I remember saying to myself, I
Yeah.
have one, I never use it, but I'm staring at the handset right now and it's on. Just in case somebody can't get through to my mobile phone. It's right there. So it's nice to have. It's nice to have it there. But yeah, it was playful, it was fun. He got up to all kinds of mischief in the house like you would do when you've been, let off your leash for lack of a better terminology. But it soon becomes quite stale.
Well, okay. So before we get into the end of the film, what would you do if you were left home alone?
Now, is this based on me being a child or right now? Because I'll be honest, it won't differ at
Well,
all. It'll be the same reaction. It'll be playing video games, eating
okay.
ice cream, running around like a crazy person. I'd probably eat a big bucket of chicken to myself because I love meat and chicken. I just eat junk food and be lazy, watch TV, watch a film, play video games. It's not much, but that's what I get up to. I don't know. How about you?
Uh, as a kid, I'd probably watch cartoons and read books all day
Nice.
long, just unbothered because I came up in a house with like three other kids, so I just go from room to room reading a book, uh, watching TV, and playing Nintendo.
Nice.
The old school Nintendo. Super Mario 3 was the joint, the best Mario
Absolutely.
ever.
Absolutely.
Hey,
The best one.
here we go.
Great game. Still is a really good game, and I love going back to it every now and then. Really good.
Yeah. As a teen, I probably would have hopped the train, traveled. I would not stay at home. If I was home alone as a teen, like I guarantee you, I would have been like at a friend's house watching movies, smoking pot, hopping the hopping the train to like New York just to hang out. Like I definitely would not be at home.
No, of course. You'll be going out seeing friends. Why not?
Yeah. As an adult, you know what I would do if I was home alone? Sleep.
Oh,
every Sunday, my kids go with my parents to church, and I go right to sleep.
Oh, that sounds heaven.
It's like this deep, uninterrupted sleep that happens.
Sounds perfect. What was that? Your face
Oh.
then? It was like, what the hell, man? Really? I'm doing something over here, yeah?
I wanted to, but
It was just a look. It was just a kind of like raised eyebrow, kind of. Say what? shut that noise down, okay? I'm joking.
I swear that's my face most of the time. Like, my kids are supposed to be napping. I have 2 live shows. It's bisexual on
Yes, I
Sunday.
did see that come up.
Yeah. I got bisexual on Sunday, and that's we have we do fun things like this. Last time we played Cards Against Humanity, and we talk about like LGBTQ issues, drag culture. We did like on the 23rd is the 11-year anniversary of when Obama got on and publicly refused to defend the Defense of Marriage Act,
Wow.
which gave and that's where he stood, and the Justice Department stopped enforcing it, and then he got behind the repealing of the Don't Ask, Don't Tell, which came to be argued in 2010. I believe December 2010, they went to argue it. But because Obama took that stance in 2011, September 2011, they repealed the Don't Ask, Don't Tell, which was epic. And then July 26, 2015, same sex marriage became legal all over the United
Awesome.
States.
Awesome.
So we were talking about that cool little bit of history coming up on the 23rd and how it affect the way the government treated same-sex marriage and gay rights.
It's amazing. It's a great thing to be
So
commemorating and acknowledging.
yeah, so on Bisexual, we talk about LGBTQ stuff, not just gay rights, human
Yes, they
rights.
are human. We're all
And
human.
yeah, and we play Cards Against Humanity. We talk about drag culture, cool, movies and stuff like that. So it's a lot of fun. So between that and then today I had Two Dope Girls comes on at 4.
Okay.
So Two Dope Girls, yeah, we just cut up. It's just me and one of my business associates, and we talk about what's in the news, and we're like basically successful women of color, and then here's where we just kind of cut loose and talk about, like, last week we talked about Encanto, generational trauma, what representation on means, and because Encanto had Latinos of all shades. So we talked about like representation, and then we talked about dick.
Nice. I was just about to say my wife's obsessed with it, but I did mean Encanto. just to clarify that. She's watched it so many times this week already. She loves Encanto. I've never
Oh,
seen so
so
much
do
Disney passion in my wife before. She loves Disney, don't get me wrong, but this movie's really kind of captured her imagination and her fandom of Disney all over again. She
oh,
loves it.
oh my, the animation is next level. The songs, I mean, Lin Manuel Miranda did the
Mm,
songs, and anything he does turns to like gold. He did The Heights, Hamilton. He is on fire right
wow.
now.
Epic.
Just any ah, seriously. He and Encanto, oh my gosh, it made me laugh, made me cry. Every family has a Bruno. every family has an Isa and a
We don't talk to
Luisa.
Bruno,
It's
or we don't talk about
we
Bruno.
don't talk
One or
about
the other.
we don't talk about Bruno. No, no. I'm trying to. My daughter and I did like a thing. We did a video on we don't talk about
Oh
Bruno
yeah.
video. Yeah, I put my little wedding ring on it.
It's
We
crazy.
had a good
It's
time with
become
it.
so popular. It's kind of certainly over here. I don't know about overseas, like, but it seems to be going up there to the rankings of like Frozen, where it's just gone insanely popular for a recent release. You know, obviously your all-time classics will still be there forever, but certainly in recent years, the more recent releases of Disney that are original stories have become some of the most popular they've ever had. So, you know, Encanto, Frozen are really up there.
Yeah, well, see, the thing is, it's the animation. It's the fact that they took the animation to the next
Mm.
level. Like you can see when Luisa turns around, you could see like her muscles, the skin. There's even like a little bit of peach fuzz on her back, like real skin. And it's just
Isn't it just crazy
wow.
what they can do now? It really is crazy.
It's amazing. But the songs are so memorable. They're earworms,
Oh, a nice review
you
there.
know.
Encanto, earworms. Love it. Love it. Love it.
Surface Pressure, I'm gonna tell you, I cannot listen or watch Surface Pressure without weeping uncontrollably.
Oh, bless you.
I'm so serious. Yeah, did you see the last episode of It Goes Down in the PM? I actually did a dance
Oh,
video
oh.
to Surface Pressure. I mean, I got people in DMs like, "Oh, this you barely." Well, I mean, I move, but then I'm
No,
fat, and like I'm fat, and I've got a spinal injury, so it's like, it's,
you do very well. You do
but
very well.
I don't,
I can't
thank
dance, and
you,
I tried.
but
Even at my wedding, I was kind of like, okay. I just started doing this. I didn't know what to do. But, you know,
just hit that two step. Just be like,
yeah.
hey,
I
hey.
really kind of oversold it because when it was my turn to dance, I was kind of moving everyone off the dance floor and I was putting my arms out like, you know, I'm about to start. And no moves came out. It was just kind of like, yeah. I had no rhythm. So I never kind of took up dance,
Well,
thankfully.
well, if y'all want to see me dance and make a fool of myself, check out It Goes Down in the PM's last episode called Domestic Violence. Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt. And it's got a picture of Tristan Thompson with his daughter. And in that video for What's TikToking, I did a TikTok dance.
Oh, nice. The old
So
TikTok there.
yeah, but I got a DM from like a personal trainer going, "Oh, I can help you reach your weight goals." I could tell in the video you were struggling to move. I can help you with that. And I was like, "Do you have a cure for a spinal cord injury? Like, let me know."
I mean, if anyone out there has got a need to help somebody who wants to get to a certain weight goal, I want to get to like 3,000 pounds in weight. So how many things would I have to eat? Come on, help me get to my goal. Let me get bigger. Come on, guys.
Exactly. Davey volunteers to taste test anything you got to reach his weight
Yeah, but
goal.
I draw the line at things like cabbage because I ain't eating that stuff. Sprouts, no, no.
Cabbage smells like asshole.
I'm glad you agree. I couldn't have put it better myself. We have a sign in our kitchen that says something like "cabbage is good for you," and every time I see that sign, I want to just rip it off the wall because it's not good for you.
It stinks, and then it makes you
How can
stink.
something that smells that bad be good for you? Answer me that one.
I have a recipe for stuffed cabbage that I used to love to make when I was like a kid, but you know what? As an adult, I was like, "Oh my god, this shit smells like dirty butthole."
You know,
I was like, "I cannot
I
do
do
this."
actually have a really good recipe for cabbage. What you do, rinse the cabbage, obviously make sure it's clean, chop it up. I don't know why I'm doing this, but chop it up and then throw it straight in the bin. Straight in the bin.
Okay,
That's it.
got it,
That's the
got
recipe.
it.
Simple.
You get it? You rinse it, chop it, and
Yeah.
then right in the
Straight in
bin.
the trash
Okay.
without fail. Or, you can put it in the compost. Why should the animals not have any free food? Give it to the animals. It's okay.
I think the animals would be like, "Dude, this smells like shit. I'm not eating this." I feel like the animals would shit on it because they'd
Wow.
be like, "Oh, so this is where shit goes? Okay, got you, got you."
I can see it now. The roast, sponsored by cabbage. No. No. No.
No,
No.
no.
God. Oh.
See, and sponsorships are weirdly specific. They'll be like, okay, so you have to say the product name X amount of times. You have to, describe describe what it was like using it,
Yeah.
and then, and then that's it. So we've just mentioned cabbage a whole bunch of
Yeah.
times, described what it smells
I'm really
like,
worried now that
what
I'm
it
going to get some
looks
kind of crazy farmer knocking at my door with a box of cabbage. Thanks for the sales. Boof. No. No, I don't want it.
no, I'm telling you, but you know what cabbage is good for? If you put it in the blender, add just a little bit of paste, like make it into a paste, like cabbage with like some water, and then you put it on like a sore or something, it'll draw out the infection.
Wow.
You can put a poultry on your chest too if you got like a chest
Wow.
cold. Supposedly it draws out infection, so
You've reached the medical hour of the roast where we tell you about ailments and how to cure them with vegetables.
I'm just saying medicinal plants aren't just pot,
Yeah,
y'all.
there are others out there.
Medicine plantain leaves, those are great. Those are great medicinal plants.
Maybe not. Maybe not. um, we've really gone down a tangent there. We really have.
Oh yeah. We went from talking about what we would do if we were home alone to plantains. So
I think it would be nice if we acknowledged some of the Easter eggs and references to the source material that we did see in the movie.
all right. So let's talk
Okay,
about
well, the obvious one that has to be mentioned is the tie-in with the original two movies, and that is by a small scene or scenes, I should say, with one of the McAllister family. Now, it goes without saying there are some spoilers here, so please be aware if you haven't seen it yet. Spoilers.
you've been alerted to the spoils.
Yes. So everyone was hinting when this film was announced that there was going to be a McAllister feature in the movie. And naturally, we all assumed it would be the return of Macaulay Culkin to reprise his role as Kevin. Thankfully, that didn't happen. But what we
Yay!
did get was Buzz McAllister, the tormenting older brother of Kevin, who, if you all remember, used to torment him and push him and irritate him and eat his pizza and call him a phlegmwad, whatever the hell that is, and a trout sniffer.
Oh yeah, a trout sniffer, and he pretended to play the drums on
That's
his
right,
head
yeah.
at the Christmas.
So he's now become a police officer and responds to a call out in Max's house because the alarm's been set off. Now, the thing is, it's Buzz. Come on, he's a cop now, and Pam in it tries to get out of being in trouble by flirting with him, and he responds with something like, "No one's ever been able to tame this beast." Like Buzz is some kind of amazing catch, But yeah, he kind of gets persuaded not to arrest him.
It's one of those, oh no, however did that
Yeah,
happen that you did not get
yeah, it's
married?
Buzz, isn't it? I mean, did you see his
I
girlfriend?
have
Woof.
no
That's what they said. Buzz, your girlfriend. Woof. Ugh.
idea.
So he's the cameo, and he does come back again later on when there's a call about Max being home alone, and he gets it on the radio while he's in the car eating this really disgusting looking sandwich or burrito or something.
Ugh,
And
it was
he
gross.
says he's not going to respond to the call because it's a prank. When questioned about the prank, he reveals that his brother Kevin every year calls the police station to say he's been left home alone. This is the only Kevin reference we get in the film. So what Kevin's been doing year on year since the movie is call Buzz at the police station or call the police station, say he's been home alone, he's been trapped, just to wind Buzz up. So it was a nice nod to the original, but let's face it, it wasn't the best character to pick. And he did call him Trout
Well,
Sniffer though, which was cool.
I mean, look, if I got left home alone 2 years in a row, I would not be wasting my time calling my brother at the police station to say as much. I'd be like, fuck you, you're cool. All y'all can fuck off. Like, I'm a whole ass adult now. Forget me now, ho.
Wow.
Like,
That's the Home Alone film we didn't see, which it sounds cool
yeah,
though.
I'm telling you, that's the Home Alone film we need. Kevin McAllister as an adult telling his family exactly how he feels about getting home alone, getting left at home twice on Christmas.
I could see him being some kind of like, security expert. He's done all these house tricks and stuff, and maybe he could become a like Homeland Security expert or something. Who knows?
Like all those booby traps, I see him as like a weapons maker or
Yeah,
something.
yeah,
Like a Howard Stark type.
that could work. Expecting somebody else, and there's Kevin
Mhm.
McAllister with, an Iron Man suit on or something. That could work. That could work.
I'm telling you, I mean, the booby traps. See, everybody looks and says, "Oh, these badass kids, look at them." I'm looking at it like that's a future engineer right there.
Definitely, definitely. He's a skilled
You know,
individual, but
you have to look at these kids and their little talents, their weird talents, and just be like, okay, I can see how you can make this work in the adult world. Engineers are definitely needed, and these kids are
they are.
smart.
It's the new generation. They're gonna take over the world at some point. So watch out.
I mean, yeah, and I mean, it's the how many times a day do you call your children to be like, "Hey, I need to figure out the
Yeah,
remote," or "I don't know what's wrong with my computer or my cell phone."
all the time.
I'm always calling my 15-year-old son. Like, there's something wrong with this, and he'll come in all attitude, like, "Oh my god, ma. Ugh, so annoying. Did you turn it
They're
on?
so clever.
Try exiting out of the
Turn it
apps.
off and on again.
Try yeah, or try reinstalling the apps. What Oh, ew. Ma, you gotta hit the button."
Kids, man, just watch out. They're gonna take over. What I did like was the one of the other references to the originals, which was the scene when the family are watching a movie, eating some popcorn, and it's a nod to the Angels with Filthy Souls movie that Kevin watches. Now, this is a sci-fi movie of some sort, a really poor-looking space drama, and he does say that line. I'm going to give you the count of three to get your ugly yellow no good, and then it just kind of goes off. And one of the family members says, "I hate it when they remake the classics."
Yeah, yeah.
That's exactly what you're doing right now. You're remaking a classic
Yeah,
comedy. I think that's the thing.
I was like, isn't that what you're doing? I figured that was like the movie's inside
Yeah,
joke.
because it was featured in one of the taglines, like some holiday traditions are meant to be messed with. I think that they knew that they were going to have, a love it or hate it response to this movie because they were messing with tradition, something that's been played for a lot of years. You're doing it again. You're doing it again. What the really now? While I'm, are you kidding me? That's exactly what's going
Yeah,
on. I
I
think it's great.
know.
I think it's great. So yeah, and
I'm gonna keep it
you
in.
keep
Don't
that in.
worry.
And the other reference that I
I'll keep.
noticed was they used not a lot of it, but they did use some of the original score from the original John Williams soundtrack. Some of the main theme and
They used
some of the interlude bits.
the Carol of the
Yes,
Bells.
that was used in there. Yeah.
You remember? Yeah, Carol of the Bells. I hate that Christmas Carol. I do. I fucking hate that Christmas
Wow.
Carol with a
Wow. I
passion.
mean,
Carol of the Bells. I remember they used it, but it was a decent remix of Carol of the
yeah.
Bells.
I mean,
They
it was nice. It was
I
nice to have the comfort of some of the soundtracks, so you knew it was a Home Alone movie, even if you didn't necessarily see the opening titles, because you hear that familiar theme or that familiar chord, and you know what the franchise is about. But it's a struggle
yeah.
to watch.
You don't. All right, Twitter. Comment on Twitter and let me know. Is Carol of the Bells the creepiest freaking Christmas carol you have ever heard in your life? I imagine people getting maimed to this Christmas
Wow.
carol. In my head, like serial killer is creeping into someone's house and just dun 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 dun, dun,
Oh my
cut
God.
cut stab stab dun 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 dun. I'm telling I just that's what I think of when I think of Carol of the
I'm getting a bit
Bells.
scared now. I think I need to get an adult here or something. I'm scared, guys.
I'm trying to tell you, like, it's such a creepy Christmas carol.
It doesn't make me feel jolly. Let's put it that way.
It doesn't have the same energy as Deck the halls with bells of Harley, fa la 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 la
Beautiful,
la.
beautiful.
I'm telling you, I got skills. I got pipes,
Skills to pay the
man.
bills.
Yes.
um, I think one of the most enjoyable parts of the movie, and there aren't many of them, but it was the traps. Let's face it, any Home Alone film, you want to see the traps being used and how painful it looks to be hitting these people with these things. And yes, there were nods to things like being hit in the face with a paint can, but this was it milk jugs, was it, or something like that that kept hitting him in the face, or bags of flour or something like that.
I think yeah, I think it was milk
So,
cans,
so
like
that was interesting.
milk.
The ice that they slipped on. There was the fire element, but it was on
The
her feet instead of his head. Um,
feel
it
like
was just
the
yeah. It's kind of
Lego.
obviously it's been there, done that. Any sequel is going to be more of the same, but just turned up a notch. But this it just felt that it was forced upon us. I mean, I didn't wince at any of the trash being hit with anyone. I didn't think the comedy was particularly funny. But this is all based on my love of the original movie. It's hard to compete, when it's 20, 30 years later. It's gonna be a different type of comedy. Well, movies in general, they evolve throughout the years, so you don't get the same sort of responses and same sort of dialogue or visuals as you would have done. So,
I feel like that the Lego scene was
oh
relatable.
god, yeah.
I
Oh,
that
oh,
yeah, that's my life. That is my life. That was a booby trap for him. That's me getting up in the
yeah.
morning.
Standing on Lego was one of the most painful things I have ever had to go through, and it happens quite a lot at home. My boys love Lego when it's everywhere. So yeah, I, anyone
Oh god,
can.
my daughter, she loves Legos. She loves Legos and all kinds of pokey toys and stuff. So and then you know how she did the little angel to get through the thing. See, as a mom, that's relatable. I laughed
Yeah,
at that.
it's the best way to go through a sea of Lego is to swim through it on your back. Perfect, perfectly executed.
Do the little
Yeah,
backstroke.
loved it. There are things about it I did enjoy. Like I say, the references to the previous movies, the things like the Scarface reference or the Lego scene I can all relate to. There were some enjoyable moments to take from it, but majority of it was not fun. And it was only watched for research purposes only. I will never return to it, as we'll find out when we review it a little later.
I was like who did this? Who did
I would
this?
complain.
Who
Disney?
decided?
Disney made it. Oh, I'm going to go down to Disney. I'm going to have a word. Yeah.
Yeah, strongly worded letter, Disney. What the heck?
Yeah.
Jeez. Leave our originals alone with your little stupid live action things and get out
If
of
anything,
here.
I would have liked to have seen a really dark, gritty prequel about Harry and Marv when they first started to become criminals and what made them become, thieves or something. That would be an interesting, weird way to kind of bring Home Alone back to the forefront. But
See, I would watch the prequel, Harry and Maude prequel, the prequel of the
I think
Wet
that'd be
Bandits.
hilarious. There'd be, they'd fumble along the way and they'd make mistakes, but I think it'd be interesting to see the coming together of the Wet Bandits. Just put it out there, Hollywood. You're welcome. I'm not asking for any kind of commission, but if you want to make that movie now, I'll watch it.
Shoot, I'll write it if you pay me.
There you go. Simple as that. There you go, Hollywood. There's the idea. You pay, we'll write, we'll produce, we'll star in it. I could be Marv, I guess, maybe.
You'll be Marv. I'll be Harry.
Howie. Oof, just don't be throwing bricks at my head,
Yeah. I'll be Harry, short for Harriet. It'll be a gender bend. Gender
Interesting.
bend of the Wet Bandits.
This could work. This could work. I could see millions of people watching it already.
I know. We'll make millions.
This movie, though, obviously, the whole entity of it has kept us so engrossed that we've had to talk about other things during our little chat here, and that's taken as a given. I mean, I would welcome you to view it yourself and and get your own opinion, I should say, to see what you thought of it. But I'm going to have to ask the obvious question, which is going to be, Juleen, are you going to bin it or are you going to plate it? And this is how we review things, folks. If we like it, a lot of films, we would plate it to be served again and watched again, enjoyed again. We don't like it, we put it in the
Yes.
bin or the trash, depending on what side of the Atlantic you're on, and we throw it away, never to be seen again. And
And
burn
burn
it.
it.
And then we
Then
get,
we like the bin the
holy
fire.
water, 2 priests, we
And,
exorcise all the demons out of it and get it gone.
and then, no, see, I'm gonna go ahead and bin this, but I'm gonna take that bin and compost it because it was utter shit.
Wow, there's a graphic rating for it. I would definitely bin it. I don't want to see this film ever again, but I wouldn't go to the lengths that you've described it, but it is a very bad movie, in my opinion. Please, again, watch it yourself and see what you think of it. You may enjoy it, and that's fine if you do, but yeah.
Or don't. You can save yourself the money. If you've got Disney Plus, I mean, okay, but I wouldn't waste my Disney Plus money on this movie.
Definitely not. Definitely not. I think if you didn't know it was a Home Alone movie, then it's an entertaining family comedy. But the second you see Home Alone in the titles, they've just ruined movies of that genre. So, just take the title sequence out and change the music, and you've got just an interesting film that could keep you entertained for an hour. But it needs to be thrown
It
away
was
forever. Just ugh.
it was like an hour and 40 minutes, and you feel most of those hours.
It's so true. It's so true. But yeah,
But
there's our official rating. We are not keeping this movie. We are roasting it because I want it torn to shreds and just gone. So again, make up your own opinions, make up your own mind. Please let us know what you thought of.
do it like you do cabbage.
Oh, ugh,
Cut it up.
and throw it away. Home Sweet Home Alone? I think not.
No. Home Sweet Home, no.
I like it. Home Sweet No Malone.
Just, I got one of those. Ready? Here you go.
Nice. Better than what I did.
Look, I even got this. Look.
Please. Come on, you guys. It wasn't that funny. Oh, stop. Come on. So yeah, so
All
Home Alone, Home Sweet Home Alone, don't bother or bother. It's your opinion, but we didn't enjoy it. But
trash. Throw it in the trash.
that's our official standpoint on Home Sweet Home Alone. I hope it's really helped you make up your own opinion on whether to watch it or not. We'll see what comes of
Yep.
it.
So this has been another Rose with your host, the host with the most, Davey.
And the other host with the most, who's got more most than I've got the most of, the mighty Juleen.
Hey, I'm the co-host of the roast. Hey, thank you so much for joining us. Mom is Always Right Media production channel has a lot of. We have several shows out. Go through the playlist and decide what floats your boat, and or go ahead and tune in to Davey A. I'll give that 10 minutes and check out interesting discussions about pop culture, comic books, geek stuff.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Or if you're into entertainment news, let me talk about Mama's Always Right Media Productions. Link up here. Just click the
Do it.
link
Get up there, click
and
it.
click it, and then we can and you'll be able to have access to all the shows on the Mom's Always Right Media Network. We got It Goes Down in the PM, your home for entertainment news, weird weather reports, funny ass TikTok dances, and apparently I've been told I'm a funny motherfucker, so check it out. Check it out. Coffee After Dark returns. You can also access that on the Mom is Always Right Media production channel. You can also access that on Podbean. Just check out the link. And then we got The Roast, our once a month roast of movies. We got Bisexual. We talk about LGBTQ issues, culture, and we play Cards Against Humanity and other games. We just do whatever, honestly. Two dope girls. We're two women in color that are successful, and we get together and hang out, and we talk about funny things in the news. Everything from Encanto to penis.
Nice combo.
Right? Then you got Momversations coming back this week, and Very Walker vlog. So if you're very interested in Mama's Always Right Media Productions, there you go. Smash that like button, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss a
Do it.
thing.
Do it now.
Do it. Do it. Thank you so much. And this has been The Roast.